Welcome to the Expendables 4 that passed their prime full review on the Brandon and Ryan Hour. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Ryan. And this is our spoiler-filled review. So if you guys haven't seen the movie, or if you want to check out our spoiler-free review, you can go check that one and come back or just watch this one. Whatever you want to do. So yeah, Expendables 4, released in September 2023 with a bunch of people in it.
I would say a bunch.
Several people in it.
A few.
Nope, it would be several. A few is 3, several is 4 more. So my statement was correct.
And splitting hairs. Anyway. Yeah. So, Expendables 4. The fourth installment of the Expendables series. I forget, when did the first one come out? Dang it, I was gonna look that up.
I don't know. That is a good question, but yeah. So, I mean,
I remember when it first came out, there was like tons of hype. 2010,
Okay.
tons of hype
13
behind
years
it.
ago.
Yeah, because it had, you know,
All the 80s and 90s action stars in it.
it's just like every action star, who's been a top bill kind of in this movie as Stallone, Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Terry Crews, Mickey Rourke was in it.
Mm-hmm. Schwarzenegger made an appearance.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger had his cameo.
Bruce Willis had a cameo as well.
Yep. And so, I mean, you had the three big ones. You had Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, and
Stallone
from, like, 70s, 80s, 90s movies. And then you had like Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it was like a ton of hype behind that movie when it first came out. This one, I didn't see any hype.
Yeah, neither did I. I really didn't see any marketing behind it either.
Yeah, so it's kind of strange in that regard. Because even for 2 and 3, I remember them hyping it up, and each one they would bring in new stars.
Yeah.
Shoot, they got, who did they get? The bad guys, like dang it, who did they have? Jean-Claude Van Damme,
right?
Liam Hemsworth, Chuck Norris, which
Chuck.
I mean,
Norris,
that was a great cameo.
Great cameo. Yeah,
I loved Chuck Norris in that. It was hilarious. Trying to think of who else. In the third one, they had
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson as the main bad guy, and Wesley Snipes.
Yeah,
added to the cast. Harrison Ford,
right.
Antonio Banderas were in the third one. Kelsey Grammer.
Yep, he was in the third one as well.
Like all kinds of, big names.
Mm-hmm.
But number 4, they kind of scaled it back.
Yeah, it seemed scaled back a lot this go around.
It's like their big names were expendable.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically they only had Jason Statham, Stallone, Lundgren, and Randy Couture from the original.
From the original, right?
2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 4. I can count.
Good job.
And then they added 50 Cent,
Yeah.
which
I don't know why you add 50 Cent,
I
because
don't know
he's not
why.
even that great of an actor.
Yeah. And then they had Megan Fox, which I don't know. Her name on a marquee isn't drawing me to the theaters.
Right.
And then they had all the other people, the new blood. I don't even know these people.
Yeah, neither do I.
Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais, Jacob Scipio, Levi Tran. Like, I don't know these people.
Yeah, I don't know any of them, any of their work, so I feel like most of them did good in the movie. So I was happy with their performances, but they're not people I'm attached to, like the original cast of the Expendables.
Right. The only cameo that I liked, and that was kind of really even in the movie, was Eddie Hall.
Okay.
When I saw him, I was like, okay, this is about to be a hilarious scene, and he's gonna get the crap beat out of him by one of these two guys. That whole scene was hilarious in the bar.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, where Stallone made Statham beat
Statham
everybody up
beat
in the bar
everyone up.
because he hurt his back.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I like Eddie Hall. He's hilarious. You know, one of the strongest man in the world. At one point, anyway.
At one point, yeah.
First man to deadlift 500 kilograms. Anyway, I thought that was a good bit, but it was really the only cameo.
Okay.
Yeah. So where do you put this one in the 4 movies?
It's definitely better than 3. I don't remember watching 3 to begin with, but after we watched this one, I went back and watched 3, and it is not good at all.
It's not, yeah. And a chew.
But yeah, that movie 3 was filled with just random weird fade to blacks and then opening up on a completely different scene. No transitions, no nothing, just we're doing something, black, doing something else now. And I was like, this is really weird editing. Story didn't flow great. I enjoyed Mel Gibson in that one as the villain.
That was the highlight of that movie, was Mel Gibson's role.
But I don't really remember what happened in 2, if I'm being honest. So I don't know.
The one. That's the one where Liam Neeson gets, or not Liam Hemsworth, not Neeson.
Oh, that's the one with the karate guy.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That karate guy. Yeah. Okay. So.
And the goat. Yeah, the goat neck tattoo.
Yeah. I'd put this in the number 3 spot.
Coincidentally, he was also after Nukes.
Yeah. So I'd put this in the number 3 spot, I think.
Okay.
So 1 and 2 are real close together. Then this one, number 4, and then way at the bottom is number 3.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think I can agree with that. There are like 3. I really liked Mel Gibson's bad guy.
And
the way he played it and the way they did everything. But there were other problems with that movie, with the story and the all that jazz. But yeah, I think you're probably right. This is probably number 3. I mean, 1 and 2 are real close. This was real close to number 2. It's a close, but like 3, the third one is like way down. So this one also took a different turn because they killed Stallone, like
Yeah, they killed his character.
10 minutes into the movie.
I think it was closer to 20, but okay.
Whatever. I don't know. I didn't have a stopwatch.
Maybe you should bring a stopwatch to the theater next time.
Okay, that'd be annoying. Stop watching a notebook. Ooh, this is what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, but like that, his death and spoilers, his return were both very
What? He
telegraphed.
didn't die?
No, he did not die. They were both very. I don't know if telegraphed is the right word, but it was just kind of paint by numbers. It's stuff you've seen in 1,000 different movies. Somebody
Yeah.
important gets written out for a little while, only to return to save everyone or save the main character of the show.
Yeah.
It was very generic. Like when he was flying the plane around, I was like, oh, they're gonna kill him off, and he's gonna come back at the end of the movie. And surprise, surprise, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I thought when they all got out of the plane and he's flying around, I was like, why didn't he get out of the plane? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. And I was like, oh, something's gonna happen. And then something happened. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's dead. And Jason Statham gets kicked off the team. Which doesn't make any sense because it was Stallone's team.
Right.
So the team is dead.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, it was definitely a paint by numbers movie, which is good because they didn't try to do anything weird.
Right.
They're like, well, let's make an action movie. They're, Jason Statham, Sylvester, Randy Couture, Dolph Lundgren. 4 guys. They've made dozens and dozens of action films between the 4 of them.
Uh-huh.
There's hundreds of hours worth of movies there. They know what works and what doesn't work.
Right.
They're like, let's just do what works. And what works is to have a movie where Jason Statham just goes around and kills everybody, beats the crap out of everybody, and is the main hero.
Yeah. I mean, you knew exactly what you were getting when you got into the movie. It's just your generic 80s, 90s action movie that's a little more violent nowadays. But
yeah, more gore, blood and guts kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the spirit of the film is still 80s, 90s action movie where good guys versus bad guys, good guys are going to walk out on top.
Yeah.
So it's nice to go to the movies and know what you're getting into.
Yeah. A lot of the 80s and 90s movies were PG-13.
Well, there were also some rated R ones, but in the 80s and 90s, but rated R back in the 80s and 90s is basically PG-13 now. Because the rating system has gotten way more lax.
Well, rated R back then, man, it probably had boobies.
Right.
Not it had a bunch of blood and guts.
Exactly.
But it probably had some boobies in it. So that's probably what that meant. But now rated R means blood and guts and boobies. But this one had no boobies. This movie was primarily a Jason Statham movie.
Uh-huh.
Because like halfway through, I'm like, Jason Statham's the only one doing anything.
Right. And number 3 was basically just a Stallone movie.
Yeah, but not really.
Yes.
I mean,
really.
Because at the beginning they did something as a team.
Uh-huh. And then same thing here.
Kind of. Yeah, but that was a short action sequence.
Okay.
So they did something as a team, then they didn't do something as a team. Then he made a new team, and then he had the combined team. And then like the
Right, he
last
made a
half,
new team that all got captured in number 3, and then he was doing stuff by himself for a large portion of the movie.
because they get captured.
Uh-huh.
He goes and gets Antonio Banderas,
Right,
and then they're gonna go rescue them. And
right,
then the other guys show up, and then they go rescue them.
right, but the majority of the movie is Stallone's on screen, not the other characters.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
And this Statham is the main person on screen through most of the movie.
Yeah, but like, there's not even the last third action sequence is primarily Jason Statham.
Right.
It's not the team.
Okay, that's fair.
So like the new team after Stallone dies doesn't do anything.
I mean, they do some stuff, just not to the level that you
I mean, they
that they had in
immediately
the
get captured,
right.
and then they're in jail or in the
And the reason they
whatever.
got captured is because they put a woman in charge. I mean, that's what happens.
Probably. I can neither confirm or deny, but I confirm the statement. I don't know, like the Megan Fox thing doesn't make sense.
I don't get it either.
They could have picked
Because like she made this whole big
anybody
deal
else.
that she was part of the team. I don't remember her ever being part of the team. Like that's why I went back and watched through. I was like, did she have a pivotal role in that movie that I just missed because I hadn't seen it? And
No.
the answer is no, she wasn't in that movie at all.
Yeah.
I think she was just in the second movie. I don't remember if she was in the first or not.
She wasn't in any of them.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
she was in one of them as Statham's girlfriend, and she showed up in like 2-3 scenes in the entire movie.
What?
Yeah,
Are you sure? No, she didn't.
was it somebody else who was his girlfriend in those movies? I thought it was her.
Yeah, in every movie, his girlfriend is a different woman.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Jason
okay.
Statham.
All right. I mean, if you say so. I didn't think so.
Yeah, yeah. Every movie, it's a different girl.
All right. I guess I was wrong then.
Shoot. Oh, Ronda Rousey was in the third one.
Yep.
Let's see. Girlfriend.
Okay. Well, then I guess I was mistaken.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, definitely. I don't think she was in any previous. I think they just showed up and they were like, she's on the team so that they didn't have to tell the backstory of how she showed up.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so they were just like, oh, Megan Fox will be great for the Expendables for reasons. Now, I don't think she fit this role. I don't really watch anything with Megan Fox in it. I don't know what she does these days. The only reason I know Megan Fox is because
Of Transformers?
of Transformers. I mean, love the first 3 Transformers movies. She was only in the first 2 because she got fired for the third one because she. Well, actually, yeah. Because she said something in the media that she shouldn't have.
Uh-huh.
Not going to fault her for what she said. Just how, like, hey, man, you don't talk about your boss when you get $1 million paydays.
Right.
You know, keep that stuff out of the news. And she was young and stupid back then. because she was, late teens, early 20s. So I mean, that's just how the world works.
Right.
But yeah, oh, that's right. She was in Ninja Turtles, but I didn't watch those because didn't care about those Ninja Turtles. And haven't seen anything she's been in a while.
Yeah, I didn't understand why she was left in charge after Stallone's death.
Yeah.
Like that didn't make any sense because she hasn't, like, we had no connection to her character at all.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not like Couture or Dolph Lundgren or 50 Cent could be the leader. Every time Randy Couture talked, it's freaking laughing because the ear thing.
The ear thing, like they kept bringing it up. Hey, what's
Yeah.
wrong with your ear? Well, let me tell you
Oh,
about wrestling.
I'm
About
glad you
wrestling.
asked. Like when he said, "I'm glad you asked,"
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be sarcastic, but then like he got excited about talking about wrestling, and I was like, that was not a sarcastic. I'm glad you asked. That was a legitimate, excited. I'm glad you asked, and let me tell you about my life story.
Yeah.
Like it was good.
And it happened like what, 2, 3 times in the movie,
Yeah, at least twice.
and he kept bringing up, "Hey, I'm gonna explain what happens when people wrestle. It's a common deformity or an element or
I
whatever he said
yeah.
every
I
time."
think he I think he told the story twice, but then somebody was like, I was not going to talk about his ear again, is he, or something like that, made a reference to it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's the great thing about this movie too, was when there was comedy like that, it really hit. It elevated the movie. It wasn't just jokes to, like, just alleviate some pressure or jokes immediately following a tense moment. They were well timed and they did the actual role that they were designed for. And they didn't undercut any serious moments.
right, yeah, I totally agree. Um, which is like going back to you know, the paint by numbers thing, the cookie cutter. Like it, it's worked in the past for a reason. Like, just do that. You don't always have to do the thing, but like sometimes you just have to do the thing. Like, don't try to like make stupid, and it's like that's a smart joke.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just a poop joke,
Right.
right? So it's yeah, the comedy really really good. All right, what about the bad guy?
Andy Garcia.
Yeah,
Again, it was very generic. Like as soon as he showed up, I was like, "Oh, he's the bad guy."
but like Andy Garcia, the only thing I can remember him from is from the Ocean's movies.
Ocean's movie, yeah.
Um,
I don't know what else he's been in, but
he was in the Dora the Explorer movies.
okay. Yes, that's one way to do something.
Um,
But I thought it was good. It was, I mean, they introduced him and then set up a shadowy figure that Stallone's character had a history with, and nobody knows who it is. And it was like, I know who it is. I get it. I figured it
yeah,
out, guys.
yeah, because like they didn't bring back Church, they didn't
Or
bring back
drummer.
Schwarzenegger. Bruce Willis obviously can't come back,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't bring back Ford.
Uh-huh.
Um, who knows why? Um, maybe they just didn't want to do it,
Yeah, or they
or
were cutting budget. I mean, it could
budget,
have
or
been,
scheduling. You
yeah.
never
I
know.
mean, there's dozens of reasons why they may not be in the movie, but
Yeah, I don't know because I don't know him that well, and his his movies that well. I don't. I think anybody could have done that role.
Yeah.
I just recognized him from
The
the
Ocean
Ocean's movies.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like there could have been somebody better for that role. Like, I just don't understand why they had no, other cameos or obviously out of place actors, other than 50 Cent. Um, mm, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would have been hilarious. It would have been hilarious and kind of thrown a wrench in the works as to like what's actually going on. If it would have been somebody like oh, dang it, his name just popped out of my head.
Oh
Iron
no.
Man.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, if that were Robert Downey Jr., you'd be like, wait, is he the bad guy?
Okay.
Then it would have thrown a little bit of mystery in there. But I don't know. Casting, money, all that stuff. This,
But overall, I enjoyed Andy Garcia's portrayal in the movie.
I think he did okay. Yeah,
I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. So, yep, there we go.
I just think the out of placeness of the character for like, because the whole hype and the coolness of the Expendables was to have these big name people show
Right.
up randomly for no reason.
Uh huh.
And Andy Garcia isn't a box office draw and a leading man.
All right.
But I mean, it doesn't hurt the movie. It's just, where I'm coming from, where I'm like, okay, Expendables. I'm expecting to see random actors just show up for no reason.
Okay.
And basically just be themselves for 30 seconds. But that wasn't not the case for this movie. But still good. And he did play the role well. And they didn't telegraph it. But if you know action movie tropes, you know he's the bad guy.
Right.
If you're 12, you may not know. If you're 25, you should know. If you're 35, you know. If you're 75, you probably forgot.
Okay.
How old is he? He is what? 46. He was born in 46.
Okay, who was?
That's 54 and 23 is 74 and 3 is 7. 77. 77 years old, Stallone.
Oh, okay. Stallone.
And yeah, so if you're 75, you probably forgot some of your movies. So that was one thing that I noticed in this movie is that they started they're really honing in on the age of the characters or the actors. Like Dolph Lundgren, he just looked old and haggard. They were talking about his hair. Stallone, they didn't show his physique at all.
Yeah.
But you could tell he was smaller and his face is sunken and the wrinkles and you could just tell he's not, even what first one came out 13 years ago, so he was still 63, 64.
Somewhere in there, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so it was said he's 77.
Yep.
So yeah, he's 63 when the first one came out.
64. So. Learned how to do math. 13 years ago.
Anyway, so yeah, you could tell that the physique's not there. His face, they all have old man face. and like they kind of made fun of it at the beginning with the my back hurts thing,
Right.
or I hurt my back. Um, Statham was born in 67, so that's 33, that's 56. So I guess that's why he had to do all the action. He's the youngest guy.
He's okay.
Because Lundgren is old too.
Yeah.
He's 57. Or not. He was born in 57.
All right.
So that's 66.
Okay, that's nice.
Anyway. No, that's not right. Yeah.
I don't care.
Whatever. Tired of doing math.
Great.
Um,
Let's move on.
but I liked how they kind of showed the age, right? The bit with the prescription scope,
That was pretty good. Yeah, I liked that.
but then he still had to put his glasses. Or no, wait, that wasn't the problem. The problem was that he wasn't plastered.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, he drinks out of his flask. Drinks out of his flask, and then he's an amazing shot again.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, okay, that's funny, but like the whole thing, he was like, I've been sober for 6 months, and
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna die if I don't get drunk right now. Another funny thing was when they're at the end, when they're on the boat and the forklift comes out and it's playing a 50 Cent song.
Yeah,
Like that was
that
hilarious.
was some pretty good fourth wall break there.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah, so the age thing, I thought that was kind of like I think maybe that was their way of saying we're done
Yeah,
without saying we're
possibly.
done. Like the only way I could see them doing a fifth one is if like Stallone takes over that top secret government guy,
Yeah.
and Stallone takes over the Expendables, and then he gets
Well,
another crew.
Stallone can't take over both parts.
Statham takes over this Expendables, and then they get like a younger crew of action stars.
Yeah, but the problem is they keep trying to bring in these younger crew of action stars, and nobody
But they're
knows
not
them.
bringing in action stars.
I mean, they tried to bring in Liam Neeson, or not Liam Neeson, Liam, the other Liam
Hemsworth.
They tried to bring him in and make him an
Yeah.
action star. They tried to bring in all the people in the previous movie, including Ronda Rousey, and none of them
but they're not.
returned.
See, that's the thing though, is that they're getting people. Those people have done some action movies, but they're not action stars.
Right, but because there are no new action stars, so I think that's kind of what they're trying to do is launch some action star careers, but they're not panning out. I think that's what their entire point is. Hey, let's get some newer action people in and get them to carry on the franchise. But I don't see anybody being able to do it.
I don't think that's working, because I don't think you can just bring somebody in and say, "Hey, he's cool. You don't know him, but he's cool."
Yeah.
And I'm like, not when he's around $1 billion, or when you're talking Stallone, all these guys, you're talking multi-billion-dollar box offices over their careers. This guy's got nothing.
Nobody has the star power of a Stallone or Statham or even Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to make it happen, but nobody cares about the other characters. Like they're bit actors.
Yeah.
In the
when
movie,
you've got $1 billion on screen, you don't care about the guy that's worth $100.
Right.
I think that's that's the wrong way to go about it, because none of these guys started off in $1 billion movie. They all started off in, the low budget films. Like, so I think they would need to bring somebody in who has had, those has had action movies that have paid off and where they've done well.
Right, but there's no action stars anymore. Like in the
Yeah.
last 20 years, there's nobody who's rose to prominence as a low budget action star. It's just not happening.
Mm, you make a good point. You are correct. I think that person who has done that in the last 20 years is Statham,
Okay.
because he did all those, small budget movies back in the early
Transporter,
2000s. Yep.
the other
The
ones. Yep.
Mechanic.
Yep.
I mean, Crank,
Crank, that's the other one I was trying to think of.
Death Race. I mean, he's doing these movies that, they're not billion-dollar movies, but they're good movies. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right about the action star thing. I can't think of anybody I would call an action star anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah, all these people are freaking old. Gerard Butler, old. Um, what's his name?
Can you tell me what he's been in?
Wolverine and the other guy
Hugh
in the red
Jackman?
suit.
Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. They would have been hilarious ads, but they're also probably very expensive.
Yeah, without a doubt.
They should have gotten Liam Neeson.
That
For
would have
like
been fun. Yeah.
that would have been great. They're probably also not going to make another one because this one is like bombing at the box office.
Yeah, and I think a big portion of it is there wasn't a big marketing push. There was no real
Yeah.
yeah, like I
The
think I
only
saw one preview for it and that's it. And I knew nothing about the movie going in.
Yeah, I didn't know what the well, I saw the preview. The preview doesn't tell you anything about the movie. And the only reason I remembered to go watch it is because we are doing this.
Right.
So it's like, oh, what are we doing next week? Oh, Expendables 4. Is that out yet? Okay, I guess we
Which
should
is
go
a
watch
shame
it.
because it really is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
So it's a shame that it's just not getting the marketing push or the buzz that it should.
Yeah. For its faults, being the people who we don't know. Like the downers of the movie are Megan Fox, and just not having the big names that
Mm-hmm.
the franchise is known for.
Right.
It's a good movie.
It is a good movie. I enjoyed it. So I mean, I feel like this pretty much wraps up the entire review. So why don't you give your closing thoughts and a score on it?
So my closing thoughts are these guys are getting old. They're old. They need to there needs to be a passing of the torch. But like I said, it's hard to pass the torch when you can't make decent action moves anymore.
Yeah.
I liked it better than the third one. Probably on par with the second one. What did I give it? I give it a 7.1. I think it's a it's a story we've all heard before. But it's got really good action. It's hilarious, and I didn't get bored or uninterested, even though I knew what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So 7.1.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty close to the same boat. I really enjoyed it. It is an actions movie, just an action movie. Um, I enjoy these types. They're entertaining. It was not a relatively long movie, but it was an hour and 43 minutes, so it's not a 2 hour plus movie, which is nice. Not being stuck in a theater for 2.5 hours.
For real.
So I appreciated that. I liked the action. I liked most of the acting in it. The jokes were good. So overall, it is exactly what I expected it to be going into it, and it delivered on that. So I enjoyed it, and I gave it a 6.8.
Yeah. It's hard to find movies that when you go into them it meets your expectations. It is what you think it's going to be and it delivers on it, you know, its promises basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now nowadays the best parts of the movie are in the trailer,
Right.
but and I like the way they do these trailers. They don't tell you anything about the movie,
Right.
which it's good. I like it. If you guys have made it this far, give us a like and maybe a little old subscribe there, and let us know if you've seen the movie, what you think, who you think should be in the fifth one.
If there is a fifth one.
Expendables 5 on wheelchairs. Okay. What else?
We're also on Twitter.
And Rumble and YouTube. And Twitter is at BRHReviews. You can hit us up over there. And Thursdays we do generic entertainment reviews, TV, comic books, whatever we feel like talking about. Mondays we do movie reviews. And give us some recommendations. Coming up on a dry spell, so need some recommendations because this fall season looks like it's gonna suck for movies. Well, for theatrical releases anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about it, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Later.